Welcome back to another episode of Straight to the Point. I know it's been a while, and in this one, I'm going to be explaining why it's been a while since I've updated. I know I keep promising you loads and loads of content, and then I tend to go quite quiet. So I'm going to be explaining to you the reasons why, because there are some real logical reasons why I've not been recording as frequently as I would like to. I'm also going to be covering some of the marketing and sales lessons that I've learned over the last month and a half, which I know will help you if you are in a service-based business, in an agency type business like we are. And I'm going to be giving you some honest truths, really, about what it's like running a social media agency, one that's also growing very, very quickly. And we're talking to you about some of the pains that we've kind of been experiencing because, you know me, I'm very transparent when it comes to this stuff now. And I'm also going to be talking to you a little bit about what I've been struggling with, because this is something which I haven't really done too much of recently, purely because it's been quite hard to talk about. And some of these things you may be able to relate to. Some of them I'm just going to talk about because I want to get it off my chest, really. And I'm going to start with those specific things because I think they're important, especially to really focus in on as business owners, whether you're a startup or whether you're someone that's looking to grow. Because I see a lot of people talking about growing online businesses online, growing service-based businesses online, and they make it sound like really easy. And I fell into this trap when I first started of thinking that business was easy to do. And as I've kind of shifted my mindset from doing everything myself to growing a team and growing the different revenue streams that we've got and trying to multitask, trying to get everything done, I've realized actually that I find it a lot harder than what other people are portraying online. And I feel like there's also lots of other people that I either teach, mentor, talk to, or friends with. They kind of experience the same thing, but don't talk about it in the way that I want to. So one of those things, especially over the last month and a half, which is why I've been struggling to get consistent content out, like in-depth content like this, is purely because of how much we've got to do. We have got a huge product launch coming live in January. It's a complete shift to the business with kind of how it's being run. For those of you that don't know, we have three different arms to our business. We have the educational side, which is our social selling academy. We have the social media agency side, which is very focused in on LinkedIn lead gen. So we have like the outreach side of things. We have the content side of things. We have the workshop campaign process that we run, which is what we're known for. We're known for webinars and workshops. And then we also have the corporate training that my business partner, Sam, does. And what we've been shifting into because of the stuff that we're looking at in terms of the problems that so many business owners are coming across right now is a fourth arm. And the fourth arm I can't talk about yet, but what it's required me to do is record hundreds of hours of content, plan out also hundreds of hours of content. And after doing all of that stuff, you probably hear in my voice anyway, I've got a workshop that I'm running today at 12, so I've still got to get that done. But I've been struggling to combine everything from recording all that content through to communicating with the team, through to then all my public speaking commitments that I've got, through to other interviews that I've done as well, to then add in that fifth element, which is what I love to do, which is like sharing my journey with you. It's been quite hard and quite challenging. So one of the things that I've had to do is kind of remove a bit of the pressure. And I think it's something that we all must do at some point in business, unless you're like some form of robot, I guess. But I am 100% guilty of not being honest with myself when I feel like I'm being overworked or burnt out. And what I've had to do is really look at like my priorities over the last month and a half. And as much as I hate to say it, coming on and spending 20, 30 minutes kind of like talking about what I'm going through right now has been something that I've not really wanted to do because it's quite difficult to talk about. Today, I've kind of just, after a few different conversations, I've just thought, you know what, screw it. I need to get back out there and talk about this stuff because other people I know, especially with the way the market's going right now, are going to find this difficult to talk about as well. So if I can help them share their stuff, then so be it. Looking at your priorities is something that we all should do. And I don't believe, speaking to the people that I speak to, that we do it enough. And when we look at what's coming up and where our focus needs to go, it's really easy, and this is a big business lesson that I've learned, it's really easy to focus in on the easy work. There's this like term out there in business, which is like default to bitch. And it's so true, because if you wake up every morning, which is how I fell into this trap, right? In July, when I remember I shared an episode, which was like our toughest month ever. And this has been a tough one as well, but for different reasons. But I remember when I was going through that month, I was waking up and I was just doing whatever kind of landed in my inbox, whatever I was asked to do, whatever fire needed putting out the quickest. And that's a real dangerous place to be, because you end up being very reactive in the way that you work day to day rather than being proactive and looking to build your business. So what I've had to do is take stock of everything that we've got to do. I know it sounds basic, but sometimes I think the basic stuff is what we need reminding of. But just list out all the stuff that I need to do between now and the end of the year, and basically just fill my diary with the stuff that's going to allow us to hit the targets that we've set ourselves. And that has been one of the biggest struggles, because what I've then had to do is try and balance off all the other fires that need putting out in the same way, which is not easy. It's meant really, really long hours. Like, I have not worked harder than this past month and a half. Since I got back from Ibiza, like, I had a week on a business retreat there, which I'll do another episode about. I'll talk to you about that and what went on. And then I was ill with, I think it was like the virus thing that was going around. It might have been the illness that can't be named in content these days. It might have been that. I don't know. I tested negative, but who cares? So it knocked me out 2 weeks of September. And then since I've kind of recovered and been back on it, I've been head down nonstop, just like putting everything into this new product and what's coming in January. And what I've then really had to look at is, how do I keep the business, along with the team, along with Nick and Sam, how do we keep it to a point where we're able to meet every expectation that we've set, whilst also then trying to find the hundreds of hours that we need to be able to get this product ready? It is an absolute dilemma. And when you're looking at launching new products and services, whenever you're looking to move to that next step of growth in your company, whether it's startup to small business to medium business to large business to corporate, those journeys require you to meet the expectations that you've set the people that you're already working with, but then you have to find all the additional time or support and hiring in those people to be able to take you onto that next level. And it is the hardest thing I've ever been through. It's meant that sales and overall growth of the company has been lower than it's been before, because the time's not been able to be spent on it. It's mean that I've had to, rather than go after and chase instant gratification, which is what I'm fueled by, I've had to delay that because I know all the rewards are going to come next year. That as a mindset shift has been one of the most difficult things I've ever been through. And it's meant that I've not had that same creative flair that I've normally got. I've been drained. And when it comes to business, this is the thing about it being difficult. When you're running your own company, you have responsibilities. And sometimes those responsibilities include stuff that you just do not want to do, but you don't have the time, you don't have the resources to be able to delegate it or give it to somebody else. You've got to take responsibility and you've got to own it. And that just isn't that fun. So that's a little bit of an update, I guess, as life as an agency owner. I mean, I love to kind of paint the pretty picture that it's all sunshine and rainbows. I mean, the positive side is that the webinars and workshops are going down really well. Our academy members are flying, and all of our campaigns are really picking up and driving forward again, which has been a challenge for us again, like trying to get continuous results through ever-changing markets. It's not easy. However, we have done absolutely everything that we can to get them to their optimum point, and we are now seeing some amazing results with every single one of our clients, which is a relief, because sometimes, again, maybe I shouldn't be saying this publicly, but screw it, who cares? Sometimes you go through periods where you doubt your own ability. And there are moments throughout this whole company journey where results haven't been where I expected them to be, not just for me, but for clients as well. And I've had to do so much work with the team to try and work out how we can improve, what changes we need to make. And when that doesn't happen for like 3 to 4 weeks, you sit there and you're banging your head against a brick wall, because it's not easy, this stuff. And sometimes you're like, is this ever going to change? Have I just lost my ability to be able to hit results for these people? And then suddenly it clicks. And then you're like, okay, so I do know what I'm doing. Like, I do get it. I know what I need to change. And you go through these periods of self-doubt, right? And I just want you all to realize that no matter who you are, I think we all do. And even in our position, our business is doing amazingly well right now. But I go through tough moments and tough months. And there's been more tough months this year than ever before. And I expect more and more to come as the hours increase, as the team builds, because do you know what? The bigger you get, the bigger the problems become. But I can't complain. I'm still loving what I'm doing. I don't want to make this seem like I'm just like pouring shit onto you, right? But that's the reality. My business is hard, but I am enjoying it at the same time, because with every challenge that we overcome, I feel like I'm improving month on month. And that's what I really want for myself. Changing that mindset from instant gratification to delayed gratification, something that's so, so important. Now, I want to cover some tips for you, some tactics, some lessons, just to finish off this episode, right? This is the bit that I guess you're going to get lots of value from if you haven't found that bit valuable. The biggest thing right now that's so, so important for any service-based business owner, any agency-based business owner, any educator, coach, consult, whatever it is that you're doing, is making sure that you're changing your message as times change. So I've spoken about this in workshops a lot, but in your marketing, in your sales, as you're looking to get yourself out there, what's really important is that you're starting to understand again the mindsets of your ideal clients. This is the number one mistake that I see so many people doing, whether you're a startup or a large business. You're talking about the same stuff that you were talking about a year ago, even 6 months ago, even a quarter ago. You're posting the same sort of content. You're sharing the same stuff on your sales calls. You're going in depth into certain information that people just don't care about. And when we look at the psychology behind how people buy things, what you need to realize is that buyer behavior changes depending on what's going on in the world. And to give you an example of this, I'm going to talk to you about the shift in our sales message over the last 2 months specifically, which has seen a spike in sales compared to July when we had the struggles. So August and September were really positive, although September was only half a month for me. And October, we've now had the trigger to change the message again because it's kind of moved, because sales dropped again. This is the stuff that you need to be looking at. And the example and the way that we deliver our marketing and sales messages are really, really important. So back in July and August, when we were looking at those changes, in July, I had a very soft message. It was that everything's okay. Summer's coming. Like, if you want to look at your marketing and your sales stuff, then we're here to help you. We'll give you the honest truth. It was very subtle. It was very tame. If you look at my content and my videos back then, it was very much, I'm here to help you. That ran its due course at the end of July, and it meant that we needed to make a shift. In August, things were happening in the market. Things were happening in the world. We had the war going on. We had all of this stuff happening. And what we needed to do is make people realize that now is the time to capitalize on certain opportunity. So my message went quite harsh. It went, people need to wake up. People need to realize that now is the time to focus in on lead generation, because if you don't do it now, in December, in January, in February, you will have zero pipeline. You will have a problem with leads. You will be struggling to generate business as the world changes. So we delivered that, and it took off because people realized, they related to it, they got it, they understood, they took the urgency and they moved it. What I want you to think about now is, how does this apply to your business? What can you change up to try and drive urgency? Now we've run that message for a couple of months. We're now having to shift again, because guess what? The world's changed even further. We're kind of going more and more towards a recession. We've seen property prices drop. We're seeing electricity and utility bills go through the roof. People are now getting hungry, but they're also really, really struggling and finding it difficult about where to place their money to get more business. They're having to restrict. Budgets are getting pulled. So we've had to change our message in terms of why people shouldn't be pulling their budgets right now, and where they should be putting it, why they should be putting it there, and when they should be doing it, to be able to make sure that they're going to survive throughout these difficult moments. The message is changing. It's become a lot more blunt, because again, we're adapting what we're saying to make sure that they understand that we're the people that can help them. Now, what I need you to do, because this is the stuff that we work really, really hard with all of our clients, both agency clients and academy clients, is think about your ideal target market right now and where their heads are at. Are they in fear mode? Are they feeling excited about what's to come? Is there opportunity that maybe we don't see right now? Is there stuff that they could be doing or listening to in terms of what you're putting out there, which is going to cause them to think differently? We need to be constantly changing our messaging to make sure that it's relevant and it's on point, so people can sit back and they go, oh my God, I need to work with your company. I need to work with your business because you're going to solve the problem that you're telling me is so important to solve right now. The more compelling you are, the better, should I say, that you deliver that with conviction, the more money you're going to make in these markets. So changing your message is really important. And then number 3, and this kind of links on to number 2, and it's the last point that I've got to make inside of this episode for you, is a marketing and sales lesson, which I see so many businesses getting wrong. And I look at websites, I look at social media profiles, I look at landing pages, I look at content, I look at so many different things. And there's 2 things normally that every single one misses. And that is why somebody should buy from you. So the reasons why you are different to everyone else. People don't seem to put it on there. They have all the features and benefits of what their products and services do, but they don't add the context as to why it's so important. What you need to really understand is the real reasons why people should choose you over anyone else that they could do. We know, right, with our brand right now, we are about simplifying all the other stuff that people overcomplicate in marketing. We take you back to the basics and we get the basics right. And when you get those right, it's amazing how results come. That's one reason why you should work with us, because we simplify it. Number 2 is we get results fast. We've proven it time and time again. We've got case study after case study after case study of results within that first 30 days. It happens time and time again when you get the basics right. And number 3 is that we don't have you wasting any time whatsoever. If you commit to us, we will commit to getting your campaign going quicker than any other agency that's out there. They are real compelling reasons why you should work with us. If it's speed and you want results consistently time and time again, and a team that's going to go above and beyond to absolutely nail your lead generation and your online revenue generation, then we are the business that people should choose to work to. We believe it, we understand it, and we see the results from it. We know why people should work with us. The question that I've got is, do you know that yourself? Do you know why people should work with you and what makes you different? The second bit that most people then miss is when people should make that buying decision with you. This is a bit of a sales tactic more than anything, but there's this thing in sales that I always default back to. It's the same thing that I do in our marketing, and that is working out opportunity cost. If you're an agency owner or a service-based business owner, or you're a coach or a consultant, opportunity cost is what you need to be able to work out very, very quickly in your head. And you should be able to demonstrate it visually to any clients that you're working with. So when I'm ever in conversation with somebody that's looking at one of our services, it's always difficult to work out in their heads, like, when's the right time to press go? When should we go live? When should we do something? So what I will do is I will go, right, our pricing is X. You've mentioned to me that by not solving this problem, it's costing you this much a month. Now, as long as the retainer that they pay us, right, is less than what the opportunity is that they're losing out on, and I believe that we can bridge that gap, then now is always the right time to buy. Now, if now isn't, and they don't have the budget in place, right, that could be one logical reasons why people don't buy. What we then do is we look at, well, how much money are they going to be continuously wasting month on month until they make that decision? We will say 6 months down the line, let's say you work with us and our retainer is, I don't know, £1,000 a month. And what you're saying you're losing out on is £3,000 a month. So £3,000 a month over the 6 months is 18 grand. Over that 6 months, you may have paid us 6. Let's say the worst case scenario right now is by not changing or making this decision for 6 months, you're going to be losing out maximum 18 grand if what you're saying is true, or it's going to be more and more, or it could be the minimum of 12. That is how much money you are currently wasting by not making this decision now. And again, you can do that in multiple different examples, right? It's just one example that I've plucked from the top of my head. But by shining a light on opportunity cost and when someone should make that buying decision, what you're helping them do is really make an instilled and confident decision that now is the right time, or it might be 3 or 6 months is the right time. The numbers will give you the data that you need for them to be able to make the decision. Really, really, really crucial. So in your marketing, on your websites, on your landing pages, within your content, like filter in once a week, once a month, or even just have the information on the website. When is the right time for someone to buy from you? Work it out, get into their heads, work out what they're thinking. And the more and more that you say it, the more opportunity will come your way with it. That's about it for this episode. I don't know how long I've been going on for. I hope I haven't sent you to sleep. I know the first bit was a bit heavy, but I think it's important to share kind of what I've been going through and why I've not been on here and why I've not been releasing consistent content. I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to be uploading every single week or every single day, or like I definitely will do one every couple of weeks. That's a given. That's simple enough to do. I'll try and upload as much as I can. Obviously, with everything that's going on, it's just making sure that I'm putting out the right stuff. I don't just want to come on here and talk about nothing. I want to make sure that I'm giving you value with every episode that I put out. If you do find these sorts of videos or podcasts valuable, just let me know in the comments section if you ever see like the YouTube video or you see me promote it on social, just so I know that it's useful for you. I kind of do these selfishly as well as by adding value to you, because it's quite nice just to like rant and get things off my chest. I hope you're all doing amazingly well. If you have any questions, you know where I am. Please do like, if you've not liked the video already, please do let me know in the comments what you think. And if you are not subscribed already, please do hit that subscribe button. I'll see you all in the next episode. Peace.